So like I said, we want to get Mr. Blue. We'll start off with that one. I want to try the script that I got up and running. I am already on the PwnTillDawn little thing right here. And let's go ahead and grab the IP address. We're not even going to check in. What's up, Yusuf? How you doing? Yep, just got off the Tripoli not too long ago. Spent, obviously a couple days, family time and stuff like that. And, but tonight, wife is out with her friends. They have, they have book club, right? Book club. Okay, I don't think any of them actually read the books. I don't think that any one of them have ever read the book. They all just like YouTube, like the cliff notes. It's hilarious. And they all just get drunk. And that's what they do. So I just dropped her off at her friend's house. She'll be taking a taxi back. But just put the kids to bed. One of them's still up. The older one's still up. She gets to play games till 9 o'clock. And the younger one, he's down. But what I want to do is I want to test out the script that I have. So I made a script. Let's go ahead and take a look at it like real quick. It's not good because I'm not good at scripting or bash or anything like that. But I made this while on ship. And then as I got off the ship and I tried it a couple times, I realized, ooh, I got to do a couple different things. So what we have here is just a bash script that I wrote, like I said, while on the ship. And if you've ever been on a ship before, you know that the internet absolutely sucks on ships. So trying to look stuff up and do things is difficult. So it's looking up because I know ELSIF, not ELIF, So if you don't already have a bash script to go off of, you're going to spend 30 minutes just looking up ELIF because that's how long it takes for the page to load. But so this took a few days to write up. It shouldn't have, but I mean, that's what happens, right? So let's go ahead and let's look at it real quick. So what it does is it does an mmap scan or also a Rust scan. You can do either one. All right, I made it so you can also do a Rust scan on here too. And then from there, it drops it in this domain IP.txt file. It greps that domain IP.txt file and sees if certain ports are open. Now this is mostly just for Windows and Active Directory, stuff like that. And then it asks you questions like, hey, do you want to do curb roasting, curb brew? It'll try to see if port 21 allows for novice access just by using mmap real quick. And it drops it all in this domain IP.txt file. So whatever that domain IP is, it's going to make that text file. Then you can cat it and do whatever else you want with it, right? But yeah, that's about it. I should probably, because every single time it does try to download this stuff, I'm probably going to make this a question. So let's actually do that right now. Do real quick. We'll do a read P. Retac P. Do you need to install LDAP domain dump? We'll say that. Question mark. Yes or no. And then we'll say answer. Then we'll say if $answer equals yes. Then, and we'll just go ahead and we'll just get all this stuff up there. Actually, I don't really want all that. I just want that, right there. Yes, then we'll go ahead and do that right. And we're still going to go ahead and do this no matter what. But we'll actually put this into a whole different file. We'll say elif $answer equals no. Then we'll just say echo tac E. We'll make this purple. And we'll just say not downloading tools, or we'll say LDAP domain dump, and then we'll say else, and we'll say needed answer. Say else will be echo tac E, need a Y or N. There we go. Then we'll do a file right there to stop that, and then it should go back to doing this again right here. So we'll grep to port 389 in that domain IP.txt. If it exists, it's going to go ahead and run this. So if those ports don't exist, it just doesn't just run stuff just to run it. That was one my big thing, because at first I made it just ran stuff just to run it, and I realized I was well, all those ports aren't always on all the time. But let's go ahead and see if this will work now. So we'll save that, and I want to grab the IP address that's over here. Now I already know this is vulnerable to Eternal Blue, and I made a little part in there where if SMB is open, it tests to see if it's vulnerable to Eternal Blue. If it is, it goes ahead and exploits it for you if you want to. Obviously, you couldn't use that on OSCP or something like that, but let's go ahead and try to run this guy. Let's go ahead and do a tools, and we'll do enumad.sh, and let's see if this thing works or not. Alright, if you want to listen to 9 Inch Nails, say yes, like right there. We don't need any of those tools. If you do, you can go ahead and just hit, you know, all or whatever else. Domain name, we don't have one yet. We do have a domain IP. Okay. Something I actually want to do is, because it puts in a little space, I want to delete that space like right there. Puts that in whenever you do the PwnTillDawn one. We don't have a username, don't have a password. We're not going to try to do a get AD users, and we don't have a user file. So we'll go ahead and we'll run that. Ooh, unexpected end of file on line 579. Okay, let's go ahead and check that out. Where's line 579? I did just add in all that other stuff up here, didn't I? So that might be the problem, what I just added up here. That was an LDAP, right? Domain dump. So let's go ahead and search for LDAP domain dump. Let's see if I messed something up here. If answer is yes, then repeat, do you need to install that domain dump? Yes. Oh, okay, if answer is yes, then if answers... Oh, okay. That's why. We don't need that part like right there. Because if the answer is yes... Oh, do you need to install LDAP domain dump? I think I need a 5 for this guy right here, that's why. Then repeat, yeah, I do actually want that. And then I do actually want another one like right here. Then do that. Okay, but if answer equals yes, then do that. We'll say if answer equals no, elif answer equals no. No, that's not going to work like right there. We actually need to put that. Okay, there's that. We'll do it if answer equals yes, then ask this, right? If answer equals no, but that's going to be for up here. So I think I need another phi down here. So that one needs to be, there's a phi, like right there for that if, phi for that if. I think I'll just get rid of what I just did just so I can actually run this thing. Let's go ahead and just get rid of what I just did, like right there, so we can actually run this guy. And I'll work on that one later on off stream so you guys aren't just sitting around yelling at your cameras to do this, yelling at your devices. So we'll just undo everything I just did. There. Okay, let's try that one more time. Let's go ahead and try that script again. And hopefully it works this time, because I did have it working before. So, no. Don't need to install anything. Enter. Source of V. That's not what I wanted. Domain IP, actually just want that like right there. No username, no password. Don't need to make a user file, and I don't already have a user file. Line 572. What is going on here? If okay, that looks good like right there. That looks good like right there. So something's going on at the end of this guy, and you can't figure out what's going on. Huh. Maybe I won't be running this today. Do I still have an else up there in LDAP domain dump? LDAP domain dump. If grep for that, then do this. That looks good. Nothing else needs an answer like right there. What is happening like right now? The good news is I do already have it saved on GitHub also, so I could just pull it off of GitHub. So one thing, always save your work multiple places in case you mess something up and don't realize what is messed up. Let's go ahead and what we're going to do actually, so we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to copy it off of GitHub like real quick, throw it back onto here, and we'll run it like that. So we go ahead and do this. Because I did add like Rust scan and all the other stuff into there too. So I did add a whole bunch of stuff in there. Hey, what's up? Oh, I'm doing good. How you doing? There we go. Let's try to run that. Let's see if that'll work. Yeah, let's go ahead and copy this IP address again. Jab Dosama, how you doing? Say no, none. Enter, Control Shift V. If it doesn't work this time, we're just going to go ahead and do it the old school way. Alright, so that's actually worked this time. So it does try to see if this file already exists or not. And if it does already exist, it doesn't run it the mmap again, because the mmap will take a while. But as we can see, we go to cat, that 10, 150, 150, 242.txt, and it is running mmap scan. It's throwing everything into there. But like I said, it's only looking at certain ports. So it's looking at, scroll up, and we're looking at these ports right here. So it is a lot of ports, but you know, it's stuff that you would see, especially at the beginning of it. 80, 80, 80, 445, 139, 3389, 5985, 135, 53, things like that. 88, obviously. Those are all things that you usually see in Active Directory environment. 443, so things like that. And then I threw a couple more in there to look at, you know, if it's running something like was it MySQL, stuff like that. But it might take a minute like this. I'm going to let that go ahead and run it. And hopefully we can automatically get Eternal Blue. Hopefully. While that's running, actually, we can go ahead and also do El Mariachi. So that's 10, 150, 150, 69. That's like where that one resides at. Let's go and try to ping it. And we can ping it. Alright, let's go ahead and run an mmap scan on it. We'll just do a tac. And we'll say that guy right there. And we have 445, 3389, 139, 135. Let's just go ahead and run rust scan on it, because it's a little slow. The mmap scan like right there. So we'll go ahead and run rust scan on it. This one's for El Mariachi like right here. We have a 5040. And I did like this El Mariachi one. This was a fun box. Go to mmap tac 5040. See what that's all about. Okay, so we got 5040. We also have 60,000. All right, so this guy's now trying to do, this is back on blue up here. I know I'm doing two different machines. All right, so we got El Mariachi down here. We got blue up here. Right here, it's asking if we want to install, well, it's going to try to install LDAP domain dump. A lot of people don't seem to have that. I'm going to make it at one point to where it asks you if you want to install it. But if you do already have it, it's like, hey, like, it's not there now, or it's already there. Now, something with this also is if it does dump it, we can cat, or we can CD into that .242 LDAP. Okay, and if there is stuff in here, it dumped out information. If nothing's in there, we just go ahead and remove it. All right, we just remove those directories. Fearox Buster, we're not going to run that. No. Okay, does see that port 80 is open. Microsoft IIS 7.5. So far, it's working pretty good. Now it's checking if SMB is vulnerable to anything. And this is right where it should automatically exploit Eternal Blue, hopefully, if everything's programmed correctly. All right, so right now, just try to log into SMB to see, you know, if we can just log in anonymously. Anonymous login was successful. There's nothing in there, but it was successful. Let's go ahead and check out that port 60,000 also. Back on El Mariachi. 60,000. TAC SC, TAC SV. What's the thing? Always be hacking, right? Or always be cracking, the ABCs of hacking. Let's go ahead and run that. This guy up here still running. He's doing his thing. We can cat him again. See how he's doing. And it was 242, right? So right now he's running GNU for Linux, obviously, as you can see. I might get rid of that because that one does take a while. Just the guy, what's up, man? How you doing? Yep, got back not too long ago. All right, so it does see that it's vulnerable to Eternal Blue. It sees that because if I look at my mmap scan, or it might not even put it in there yet, but I had it grep for the CVE, like right here, which is the Eternal Blue CVE, and it's running mmap tac SC tac SV on port 445. Excuse me, it's running script vuln, SMB vuln. So what we're running on there actually is mmap tac p 445, right? Tac script equals SMB vuln star. So that's what's running right here. Okay. So now it's asking me, so it sees that it is vulnerable to this, and would we like to exploit it, the Eternal Blue? If we say yes, it should lhost. Okay, let's go ahead and get our lhost here. We'll clear that out, and we'll do a if config. Let's go ahead and grab that L host like right here. I actually made a, that was not my L host. Okay, so I messed up, bad. So it's not going to come back to me now, is it? L port 111. But we're just going to have to go ahead and abort that because that is not my L host like right there. Must have not copied it correctly. Oh, it's still copying. That's weird. We'll say 110. No. Done. Don't know. 10, 150, 150, 242, right? And El Mariachi was still waiting on that port 60,000 to come back. See what that's all about. We don't need a user file. We're just going to go ahead and just do that. So the mmap script's bringing down a target, right? That's usually something, first off, if you do like TAC T for, you know, like higher timing, stuff like that, that's also usually something like a smaller device, not like a server. That's usually something like a Raspberry Pi or a, what's the other one called? Arduino or something like that. And if you're doing that in real life, you'll know that one is sitting there. You'll know that that is a machine that, hey, like, we don't want to bash this thing too much. And that's just going to be a lot of, you know, instead of running the mmap scripts, that's going to be a lot of manual testing, things like that. But they will tell you about that because usually those, you know, like Arduino, that's running one thing. And it's really important, that one thing that's running. So Raspberry Pi, that's going to be running one thing that's really important to them. So they don't want you to be, you know, they're going to say, hey, don't attack this IP, stuff like that. So while that's running up there again, we have our El Mariachi machine down here. Remember, blue is up here. El Mariachi down here. Okay. And we do see this weird thing come back, this 404 request, port 60,000, right? But something that caught my eye was this thin VNC. And I know that Metasploit has a thin VNC exploit out to be able to get the username and password. So let's go ahead and open that up. Now, I did try the Python one in SearchPloit, and that one just was not working for me. All right. Back on blue up here, we have, would you like to automatically exploit it? Yes. My L host, we're just going to type it in, 10.66.67.110. Remember, that's going to be my tunnel IP, right? 10.66.67.110. Yeah, port 60,000. Yeah, that thin VNC. That's when, we'll say port 111. Remember, blue up here, El Mariachi down here. Let's go ahead and search for thin VNC. And let me go ahead and exit out here. We got the full screen here. And we do have this like right here, right? So let's go ahead and try that. Let's go ahead and use 0. Show options. Set our R port to 60,000. Set our R host to, I don't even know what it was, for El Mariachi, 69. And let's go ahead and run that. Is this one going to work? Okay, so it does work. So pretty much what this does is there's a problem with thin VNC during a couple of the different ones that came out. What's up, Oreo? What's up, man? How you doing? There's a problem with the thin VNC, a couple of them that came out, and they would drop the credentials. So this one found credentials, Desperado, and too complicated to guess me, right? Also, if you haven't noticed up top, blue has been exploited. We do get UID on blue. There we go. Let's go into a shell. We'll CD into C drive, directory, CD into users. Remember, that one's blue, El Mariachi on the bottom. And we go ahead and CD into the administrator like right there and get our flag. So, script does work. Straight off of GitHub, the one that I wrote does work. Oh, the trip was, it was something else. I will give some story time between this box and when we get over to Try Hack Me. Oh man, the trip was, the Philippines. The Philippines. That place is something else. All right, let's go ahead and let's hop into this guy over here. So let's go ahead and hop in that port 60,000. Now, if it's thin VNC, what we should be able to do, 69, right? On port 60,000. Thin VNC, what we should be able to actually do is get to it from the web. Okay, well, I'm already logged in. Let me go ahead and log out, like, real quick. Can I log out? Once you get here, you should get a pop-up, and we got that thin VNC little thing right there. I did this one just the other day, so that's why I really like this one. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. You know, it was an easy box. I figured it was gonna be something, you know, like blue, you know, like what blue was, but it wasn't. And I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. And you don't get the names of the boxes till you put the flag in, which I like about PwnTillDawn. But you would put in Desperado, and it's too complicated. Guess me, And we can actually connect to probably localhost or just 10.150.150.69. We connect to there, and we should have a Windows interface here. Now, this does take a minute to load up and everything. Let it go. Let it connect. It's going to take a minute. And then you can finally just go onto the desktop and get that flag like right there. As you can see, it's in this PC desktop. So that's two of them like right there. That was Blue and El Mariachi on PwnTillDawn. All right, both of those are streamer friendly or whatever. So if you click on them, you are allowed to make a write-up for it, things like that. All right, a lot of the ones that I found, you're not allowed to make write-ups for them. Like these Windows ones like right here. Hollywood, this one was weird. So I cannot find flag 30 for some reason in Hollywood. I found everything else. This one was really weird to me. But that's okay. Like I found everything except for flag 30. I cannot find it. Like I'm NC System Authority out of the box. I can't find the other flag. But at Just a Guy, you know, the climate there, we woke up pouring sweat. We went to sleep pouring sweat. All we did was sweat all day. That's it. It was like at one point we were just sitting there. I'm like, I wish I just want to stop sweating. But that's PwnTillDawn. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna stop this video like right here. Keep the stream rolling, obviously. But yeah, so that's Blue, and also Mr. Blue and El Mariachi. Let me actually go ahead and pull up that GitHub like real quick. GitHub.com overgrow-1. I'll show you guys like where that script is at if you want to download it and run it. All right, it's this enum-ad.sh. This one's more used for the outside, like you're going from the exterior into it, right? Or you know you already have an IP address, but you're not actually in the network yet. PwnTillDawn is free. Just a guy. Is in the PHP my admin. Okay. All right, Oreo. I'll go ahead and I'll look into there then. Thank you very much. Because yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm like I am in this box all the way. There's nothing else I can possibly do. And I was also in the Philippines at the time, going through a Wi-Fi puck, and the internet's already, you know, trash. And so it's got this like 700 millisecond round trip time, and I'm just slowly typing stuff in and going places, and I'm just like, what is happening? So, all right, I'll go ahead and check that out. Thank you very much, Oreo. But yeah, this one's for outside. It runs a lot of in-packet scripts. Also, this one like right here, it asks you if you want to run different stuff with in-packet, things like that. And it also tries, you can also have it like give it like a username file, and you could try to do brute force if you want to, stuff like that. It does use fast track.txt. It does not use RockU because that would take forever. So it does use fast track. The other one that I made for the interior is invoke everything and also invoke privesk. These two like right here would be used for the interior. This one like right here, invoke everything, is for enumeration, figuring out where you're at, figuring out whether machines are in the Active Directory environment. Invoke privesk is more like a local domain or persistence. So those ones are when you're actually you're on a Windows machine and stuff like that. The other ones that I wrote up while I was on ship was invoke DNS, which is if you have DNS admin privileges. Invoke backup if you're a backup operator, and then the server operator.ps1. So you can run those ones like right there and automatically get to NC System Authority. And then we also wrote up the print nightmare script, and this is just because I didn't feel like, you know, every time you find something that's print nightmare and you have to go through and do all that like the impact and stuff and everything, and you gotta get the different versions and stuff like that. I decided I didn't feel like doing that anymore, so I just made a script for that. And then Mimikatz Everything is a helper for invoke Mimikatz. So I know that a lot of people like to use mimikatz.exe, but you know me, I don't like putting stuff on the disk. I like to have it, you know, in memory. So I made Mimikatz Everything. It seemed like a lot of people didn't know how to use invoke Mimikatz. So pretty much what that does is just ask you questions. You answer those questions. Obviously, you're already administrator. You already have Mimikatz. If you're not administrator, this won't even run, I don't think. I think that one like right there won't run. But that one or invoke privesk. Some of the parts of it won't even run if you're not an administrator. But yeah, it pretty much asks you questions, things like that. You answer them, and then it literally just dumps out a copy and paste command for invoke Mimikatz. So this is more of just a helper for it, and like, you know, you don't really know how to use invoke Mimikatz yet. You're learning how to use it. Maybe you know how to use Mimikatz, just not invoke Mimikatz. So you just don't understand the difference between the two. So those are all the scripts that I wrote up on my little GitHub here. If you have any suggestions, freaking drop them. Drop them in Discord. Let me know. I don't mind. You can tell me it's all trash. I don't mind. All right. I do not mind at all. But yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll stop this video. We'll start up another one, and we'll do a weaker. I don't know.